That was my intro song. I made it just for this video. I bought the space for $500 to record this intro song. I was planning on just doing killer skins, but I decided to do every skin, including survivors. I'm starting the survivor playlist with Noob, of course, because they're fairly popular. I've even seen some people cosplay as Noob. I would never. I'm gonna try to upload these once every week, and if not then, every 2 weeks. Survivors have a lot more skins than killers though, so if I'm taking a little extra long to upload a video, then you know why. And of course, thanks for all the support for my last 2 videos. It means so much to me that people would sit down and watch this, because the content really is just me explaining skins, and I didn't know people would really like to see that much. So thank you. And if you like this video, then like, subscribe, wash one singular dish, you know, that stuff. And of course, if you have any corrections, critiques, or fun facts, comment them whenever one comes to mind. Also, I never really said this in my other 2 videos, but I'm using my gameplay right now. There's not really any reason I should mention that, but you know, if I ever do really horribly, then you could point that out, I guess. Or if I do really good, you could give me like a gold star or something, I don't know. Also, if you don't know who I am, I'm a taco with sunglasses. In this series, I always start out with the character's default appearance first, as the character's skins are usually based off their base design anyways, so let's just get on with that. It's gonna be kind of weird talking about this creature, admittedly, as this character is both an official Roblox character and an original Forsaken character. First, let's talk about the official side of them. You probably know who this is. They're associated a lot in Roblox culture. It's actually kinda hard to go into a Roblox game and not find the Noob referenced. It's definitely the most popular character in Forsaken. So back in 2006, if you created an account, then you get the choice between 3 starter avatars. They were all pretty much the same, but wow, that one looks cool. When people played as these avatars, then they would be called noobs by the community, which essentially just means new player. It's kind of weird why this noob design is so popular, as this avatar was really only used back in 2006 and in 2007. Creating an avatar would just net you this. I guess they deserve the popularity. Roblox has made UGCs, toys, and events just based on this thing. Hell, just look at me. In Forsaken, the noob has 3 abilities, all of them being popular Roblox food items. There's the Bloxxy Cola, which is a gear Roblox released in 2009 to advertise the whole gear system. It gives noob a small speed boost once drink. Also, the description for the Bloxxy Cola in Roblox is, "Warning, Bloxxy Cola may be habit forming." Just keep that in mind. They also have a Slate Skin Potion, which is another gear released by Roblox. The potion turned your character into rock, and allowed you to absorb more damage. The downside being it made you slightly slower. In Forsaken, it pretty much works the exact same way, albeit the speed decrease is significantly higher. His last ability is the Ghost Burger. Of course, another gear released by Roblox. It turned you into a ghost. Pretty much exactly how it works in Forsaken. I wanted to talk about the lore of the noob in Forsaken, but I already filled this page in my script just talking about the default, so let's just get on to the first skin. Milestone 1. So Noob's milestones actually changed recently. They used to suck. The first milestone just gave him a hat. I don't really think this new one really references much though. I like their cool skeleton shirt though. The new ones are just better. Also, they correlate to lore a bit. For example, the description when you unlock this is, "We had so much fun, didn't we?" So, in Forsaken, the game takes place in a weird second dimension parallel from the actual Roblox one. So like, imagine Noob just chilling in whatever game they're enjoying, then suddenly, they're pulled into a cabin and forced to face off against hackers and murderers. Very Dead by Daylight-esque. Milestone 2. This skin gives Noob the colors of the Turbo Builders Club. Starting in 2007, Roblox released a subscription service called Builders Club. Basically, you paid $6 a month to get daily Robux, as well as some other benefits, like this cool hard hat. If you paid $12 a month though, then you would get the Turbo Builders Club, which meant you got even more daily Robux. Also this differently colored hat. The service was discontinued in 2019 though to make way for Roblox Premium. This skin seems to be colored like the hat given to you if you paid the $12. If you wondered what the old milestone for this looked like, it gave them gloves. Also, when you unlock the skin, the description reads, "But I couldn't bear to look at you anymore." Milestone 3. So, you saw me talk about Builders Club and wondered if you could spend even more money. Well, if you paid $20 a month, then you would get the outrageous Builders Club. It granted you some cool cosmetics. Most importantly though, it gave you more daily Robux. Also this hat. This skin is colored to look like the hard hat. The old milestone just gave him a belt, I guess. Okay, the most notable thing about this skin is the epic face on Noob's shirt. I really don't know what the epic face is even from. I know Chudletsky uses it, but before then I think it just kind of like spawned in as a meme. Oh, also this. So in Roblox history, noobs and guests are usually side by side a lot, mainly because they used to be associated as bad players due to being new. Which is why a huge part of noobs lore in Forsaken is their guest friend, which if you hadn't known is Gasa4 a Roblox horror legend that I really want to talk about, but I'm gonna have to wait for his own video to do that, as Gasa4 is gonna be added as a killer later in Forsaken's life. The description for the skin is, "Met new people in the end, but..." Milestone 4! First off, the old milestone for Milestone 4 Noob was actually pretty cool. It turned them into a king. Their new Milestone 4 doesn't really reference another Builders Club tier or anything, but it does give them some ninja swords as well as a guest shirt, having Noob fully show off the guest side of his lore. If you didn't know who this guest was in Noob's renders, now you do. I guess that means now is a good time I showed off some of the alternate renders for these milestones. The description when you unlock this is, "In the back of my mind, you're still there." Combining all of the milestones descriptions will create this sentence. "We had so much fun, didn't we? But I couldn't bear to look at you anymore. Met new people in the end, but in the back of my mind, you're still there." Noob's lore isn't fully understood yet due to the lack of Gasa4 currently in game. All we really have is Noob was best friends with Gasa4, something happened to separate the two, and the guest did not take it well, as he got banned by Builderman and transformed into whatever this is. Noob didn't know this though, so when they were suddenly forsaken and brought into the cabin, they still felt extreme regret for whatever actions they did to separate themselves from Gasa4. Anyways, this skin is always smiling, kinda like how the Noob does in official Roblox media. I mean, I'm pretty much done talking about Noob's lore, so onto the non-milestone skins. Wrong. So the Noob's color scheme is yellow, blue, and green. You could probably tell that pretty easily. But do you know the exact color value to get the exact Noob? Oh, you do? Oh. So in the Roblox app, if you go to the avatar customization menu and skin color and try to match the Noob without changing the value, then you'd get this. You can still tell it's the Noob, but it's just wrong. If you want to know how to look exactly like the Noob, then go on the website and follow this guide, which is where the name wrong comes from. Also, the skin is always smiling, similar to the Noob's milestone, but more wrong. Inverted. Simple skin for a simple design character. It inverts the Noob's colors, as well as giving them a permanent frown. I wouldn't say this means this skin is opposites from the default Noob, as a frown would probably not be the opposite to a frown. A cool thing about survivors that I haven't mentioned is they can request things from support survivors, giving them a little bit more personality in their dialogue. Like how the default Noob lines when requesting a heal are always frightened and nervous, kinda like a new player. I just wanted to mention that because this specific skin changes the text in their lines to be backwards. Tinpot. This skin is based off a character from a Roblox game titled A Bizarre Day. First thing I want to mention about that game is the fact that I can't play it, so I was forced to play old A Bizarre Day. Bizarre Day is a battlegrounds fighting game that is based off JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is an anime that I don't really think I need to talk about much for you to understand this Tinpot character. All you need to know is that in the anime, most of the main cast wield stands. Essentially a summon that has varying abilities. One stand can have the ability to rewrite people's DNA, and another can have the ability to turn into a fishing rod. In the Roblox game Bizarre Day, you could gamble for different stands and fight other people in the game. What if you don't want to fight people though? Well then, invade any of the houses and you'll most likely come across this guy. He's essentially just a training dummy for you to test your stand on. Their name is Menacing Dummy. Now, this Forsaken skin is probably based off this thing, but if they aren't, and they're just based off the Tinpot hat, then I don't really have anything else to say about this. Trapped. Ever since people started posting their creations on the Roblox marketplace, people have been getting scammed. This shirt is a very early example of that. If you saw this shirt on the marketplace back in 2014, you would have to buy it. I mean, come on, it's 3D. So yeah, this skin is just Noob after getting scammed. The description for the skin referencing what the description to these shirts would usually be. Cadi. Cadi is kind of an interesting guy. First, I just want to say that a lot of these skins for survivors are deemed as full-on characters rather than just skins. So think of this as Cadi rather than a noob dressing in orange. In 2007, Shadletsky hosted a competition called the Homestead Furniture Making Contest. It was the first event ever hosted on Roblox. The goal was that you had to decorate the then new Happy Home. If you were one of the 9 winners of this event, then you would get the grand prize of getting your very own Roblox avatar. This probably was a big deal back then, maybe, as that was a luxury back then. Cadi was one of the winners, and is pretty noticeable out of this lineup of other winners due to their custom face. I don't think Cadi ever got the avatar though, as he did not send his custom avatar submission to Shadletsky for whatever reason. But you could get the face now, as there is an official Forsaken UGC you could get of the Cadi face. So maybe if Cadi didn't quit Roblox, he'd be happy. The description for Cadi is, Ennakon avatar was the coolest one by the way. Ennakon being one of the other winners of the Homestead Furniture Making Contest. And they're not wrong, but which one is your favorite out of these 9 winners? I should also mention, you could see some of the winners in Cadi's render. For some reason, I did way too much research on this guy. I know way too much about Cadi now, so if you want to see a 3-hour Cadi explaining video, you know, I'd be down. Fancy. This skin makes Noob fancy, giving them a top hat and a suit. Not really too much to note here, but the hat is kind of interesting maybe. It's the blue top hat with a white band, a hat that was released in 2017 for 5,000 Robux. It was only on the marketplace for 4 days before going off sale. The hat would then reappear in 2018, also only lasting 4 days. It released again in 2022, but it lasted more than 4 days, therefore making this build-up joke lead to, like, nothing. Combat Dummy. Combat Dummy originates from Item Asylum. In that game, they work as, you know, a combat dummy. The game Item Asylum is pretty fun. You're given random items from different fandoms and have to kill people who are also given random items. The PvP in this game could get really wacky, especially due to the sheer amount of combinations of items you could get in this game. If you wanted to test out those items, then you should get a combat dummy. They have 0 AI, meaning they don't move or attack, they just stand still. You could only spawn them with admin commands though. However, you could still find combat dummies in maps or via whatever move this is. The combat dummy is essentially the mascot of Item Asylum. At least to me he is. They even have a combat dummy running the shop in that game. In Forsaken, the combat dummy used to be different though. Instead of being a certified combat dummy, they were an uncertified combat dummy. In Item Asylum, uncertified dummies have AI, making them evil and stuff. I'm not going to talk about that though. But in Forsaken, the combat dummy has custom request lines, making them seem much more confident and ready to fight. Get a snack at 4 AM player. This one is kind of a lot, so I may have to use 2 gameplay recordings to fit all of this yapping in. Gasa4 Player originates from Get a Snack at 4 AM. the most popular game in the Get a Snack series. The first game is called Get a Snack at 3 AM Simulator, a game made by Stixel. There really isn't anything too crazy about it. You wake up in the middle of the night and have to find something to eat. Each thing you tried to eat would lead to a different ending. I think there were about 7 endings. Stixel then made another game 1 year later called Get a Snack at 4 AM. This one being much better. And it's where this little guy comes from. The game kind of follows the same structure, at least for the first few endings. You wake up in the middle of the night looking for something to eat. One of the things you could eat being this bag of chips for dummies. Make sure to eat it outside though, as if you don't, your dad will wake up and lose their beauty sleep, which is what the description for the skin references. The chips for dummies also replaces Noob's Ghost Burger, making the Gasa4 player eat out of the bag each time you want to turn invisible. In Get a Snack at 4 AM, you could actually roam around outside a bit, unlike the previous game, and it's where you could actually see yourself. The character's shirt will change to say your username, cementing the fact that this is actually you and you aren't playing a character. The shirt changing works in Forsaken as well, which I think is pretty neat. Gasa4 player's Bloxxy Cola ability is changed to look like a witch's brew. This is a little weird to me, as Bloxxy Cola in that game is significantly more notable, but you know, whatever. It's cooler that the skin uses a different drink anyways. Finally, Gasa4 player uses toothpaste as a substitute for slate skin. Toothpaste is prominent in all of the Get a Snack games, and in Get a Snack at 4 AM, if you drink it with orange juice, something cool happens. But I'll talk about that more when I get to this skin. Okay, one last thing. Gasa4 player has a permanent smile in Forsaken. Even when they die, they're still smiling. Nooby. I like to talk about these skins in order from cheapest to most expensive, but I had to make an exception with both Nooby and Gasa4 player due to Nooby coming after in snack lore. So Nooby originates from Get Another Snack at 3 AM, a remaster of the original Get a Snack at 3 AM that came out 1 year after Get a Snack at 4 AM. Wow. The remaster kinda takes place after the events of Gasa4, so I recommend playing this remaster after playing that. So Nooby takes the appearance of the protagonist, similar to Gasa4 player, but this one isn't you. You can tell that when you finally see yourself near the end of Gasa 3. Nooby has the same abilities as Gasa4 player, chips for noobs, toothpaste, and witch's brew. All of them but witch's brew appearing as endings in Gasa 3. Forsaken has some other skins from the Get a Snack series. You'll be seeing those in my next few videos. The description for the skin is referencing the fact you could try to eat a sword in Gasa 3. Another thing to mention is that this skin actually has eyes. You can see them whenever you use the Ghost Burger. One thing about this skin that I forgot to mention about the other skin is that they both use emojis when requesting things from other survivors. Well, most of the time they use emojis, which could be referencing their mostly silent protagonist. I mean, they do speak, but like, it's always left ambiguous what they sound like. I could probably guess that Gasa4 player just sounds like you though. Bloxxy. Remember when I said the description to the Bloxxy Cola was, warning, Bloxxy Cola may be habit forming? Well, the noob in Forsaken is canonically addicted to Bloxxy Colas, and this skin fully showcases that side of them, having the noob dress as one, while also changing their face to be more like they're addicted to Bloxxy Colas. Buttermilk. This skin is based off a TikTok where someone says they had a dream where a character named Buttermilk was added as a survivor. The description for the skin referencing the line in the TikTok. Funny thing about this skin is the fact that when it was first released, it costed 10 million points. I really don't know why. I think it was just to screw with the person who had this dream. Now it's 500 points, making it fairly cheap, unfortunately. I get why though, as this skin doesn't even move its face during any actions, and honestly, I think that's for the best. Spiders. This skin is based off this one meme that shows a noob with spiders crawling all over them. The skin is pretty funny to use, as if you go under 50% health, then the noob will just start crying, and that crying just never stops. The face also changes to be the one from the meme. When you're above 50% health though, the noob is pretty much the same. However, if you emote, then the noob doesn't smile, which is pretty much something every character does in Forsaken. I really recommend you buy this skin, as it can be really funny for the killer if there's like more than 3 of you. Ennakon. Ennakon is one of the testers for Forsaken. Not really anything too crazy here, but they do have the big head hat, which is a cosmetic that was published in 2007 before going off sale in 2009. You can still buy one off a reseller though for 3k Robux, but why waste money on the big head when you can get the bigger head, also released by Roblox. I was gonna end this segment here, but I also want to mention that you could actually see the noob's face under the big head when you use a ghost burger, so you know, that's kind of cool. Subject 1. Subject 1 originates from Party.exe, a game created in 2011 that just oozes personality from that time period. It's kind of like Get a Snack at 4 AM in the sense that it has numerous endings and branching off points. The game starts with you outside some house preparing to celebrate your birthday, because of course, it's your birthday. You can tell that by Subject 1 telling you that information. And I don't really need to talk about this anymore, as Subject 1 doesn't really show up at any point after this. If you buy the donation game pass though for Party.exe, you can give him a cool hat, which is where his design in Forsaken stems from. Party.exe lore is a little weird, and I'd rather not talk about what Subject 1 really is, as I'd like to save that information for when I inevitably cover the new Jason skins, one of which being Subject 0, a character who talking about will explain a lot more about Party.exe. But while we're here, let's talk about Subject 1's request lines, all of them being weird and party themed. Okay, all you need to know about the lore for Party.exe when it comes to Subject 1 is Subject 1 is a test subject from some experiment, and he's forced to smile like that. That's pretty much all the information I can give out without having to talk about this thing. Supa Fly. This skin for Noob is entirely based off this Roblox hat. It's a hat you could win in 2009 by submitting a picture of your cool avatar to Roblox during the Lookin' Good contest. The description for the hat is the same description Forsaken uses. The hat is notable for being the first Roblox cap worn backwards. Not too much to say here, but this skin does give Noob different facial animations, making them their own character, I guess. Also, this skin has unique request lines, making them sound more Supa. Supa Dupa Fly. Now this is just actually more like it. This skin bases Noob off of the Supa Dupa hat. There really wasn't any cool way to get said hat. You just had to buy it for 1,000 Robux in 2018. The description for it is the same as Forsaken's, the skin having unique facial animations separate from the Supa Fly skin, making both of them their own characters. Supa Dupa Fly, of course, going alongside the Supa Fly skin, meaning you can do cute twinning stuff if you have a friend who plays Noob with you. Also, this skin has unique request lines, making them sound more Supa Dupa. Retro. This skin gives a Noob one of their oldest appearances, minus the shirt. This one is pretty basic compared to the other retro skins, but I like all the retro skins, so yeah. Retro skins are skins for characters that give them retro animations, having them move like they're using normal R6, while also giving them limited frames. They stop moving like this once they go below 50% health, but the limited frames save it. Retro skins also gives the character a spawning in animation, which was an animation that gave you rainbow outlines for a period of time when you joined a server in Roblox, or just respawned. This skin for Noob gives them unique request lines, which make them all old school and lol hacks-esque. I also want to mention that Cadi is also a retro skin. I didn't mention that there though, as I wanted to save my retro animations segment for this skin. The shirt the retro Noob is wearing is an old Roblox shirt that was pretty popular. I don't exactly know the first shirt, I just know there were multiple of these things. Okay, one last thing about this skin and some other retro skins. When hurt, the Noob will make an ow sound effect. Scene. This skin is pretty popular. You could probably find scene noob art scrolling Twitter or Pinterest, if anyone here even uses Pinterest. Scene is a subculture of emo that was pretty popular in the mid 2000s. It's a very colorful aesthetic that I find pretty hard to explain. You know, boom, here's some photos. A fun thing about this noob skin and some other noob skins in this game is the fact that you can see Guest666 in it. Also, Noob's face is different here, implying they can change that. So maybe the Supa skins are just the like noob here, I don't know. Lucas! Lucas is the main protagonist of Mother 3. I really don't want to explain Mother 3 too much, as that's a game I really recommend you play or watch somebody play. Mother 3 is a 2006 RPG developed by Brownie Brown and HAL Laboratory, and published by Nintendo, which is why we have Lucas in Super Smash Bros. In Mother 3, especially around the start, you kind of bounce around characters a lot, but all you need to know is you start as Lucas and you end as Lucas. The conflict of Mother 3 starts with a group of people in pigmass setting a nearby forest on fire. Most of the game revolves around your group of characters trying to put a stop to that group of pigmass. Lucas can use magic in that game, and in Forsaken, they really can't, but you know, who cares about that? His render in Forsaken is referencing Lucas's render in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In the story mode for that game, Lucas is pretty different than his Mother 3 counterpart. Like, he acts a little more like a noob in Super Smash Bros. Brawl than he does in Mother 3. But maybe I'm just thinking that because Lucas makes weird sounds in that game. Also, this skin has a unique sound when he eats a ghost burger. And I honestly don't know where it's from. I asked someone who knows a lot about Mother 3, and they also couldn't figure it out. It's in the Earthbound sound font though, so it has to be in the game. It might be actually really obvious where it's from, who knows. If you know it, please comment it and I'll heart it. The Lucas skin was released on Earthbound's anniversary, alongside some other Earthbound skins for other characters, so you'll be hearing me talk about this series more in later videos. Spotter. This skin turns Noob into the Spotter, who is one of the mercenaries in the Roblox game The Isle. Recently, Forsaken partnered with The Isle, a Roblox game made by Buttermilk in 2019. The game is kind of like The Forest without building elements. It starts with you as a prisoner on a boat. The boat crashes onto an island and you have to escape the island while getting hunted down by mercenaries, aka people who want to kill you because you're an escaped prisoner. There's a lot to talk about in this game. Like, you could probably make a 10-hour long video talking about just the points of interest on this island, so I'm not gonna talk about the game too much. All you need to know is that one of the mercenaries is the Spotter. The Spotter can spot you from great distances and alert his teammates of your location. I really thought that was all he did, but when I played this game, the Spotter was actually packing heat. So, you know, make sure you have a weapon or something, or maybe just try not to get found. In Forsaken, the Spotter's Bloxxy Cola is replaced with the Strange Drink, an item that only spawns underwater in the island. It gives a variety of buffs, but most importantly, it gives you speed. The Slate skin also changes, but I think it just also becomes a Strange Drink, albeit recolored to look like a Slate skin. There are some other Forsaken skins in this partnership that I'll show right here. I'll get to them in my other videos. Also, the Spotter has custom request lines, making him sound much more like a soldier, similar to Gasa4 Pride. A lot of Forsaken skins are getting Pride skins, especially the more original characters. In Forsaken, the noob is gender fluid, so this outfit for them shows off the gender fluid flag. The description for the skin also shows off their pronouns, which is they, them. I could have very much talked about Noob's gender identity during the scene segment, but I just decided to talk about it here instead. One thing I want to mention about the skin is, I think this is a wig, because Slate skin doesn't affect it, but I don't know, that's just my game theory. Campsite victims. This one is pretty interesting. First off, it's a retro skin, therefore having all the retro animations I showed off in my retro noob part of this video. And more importantly, this skin is actually 4 skins. not just one. The character you're playing as randomly picks from these 4. Who are these 4? Well, they're Mario07, Seth457, Lego Man 49, and Giant Snake. All actors in a YouTube video titled Roblox Movie Masked Killer by Easy Knockout and Killer Kyle. I actually haven't watched it yet, so like let me just do that.
Oh my god. I get it.
Wow, I really thought that video was ironic, but no, that video was released in 2007. This is a video that has changed the landscape of retro Roblox videos. Okay, so it starts with Mario07 dying in his house by Killer Kyle. Very scary. Oh wait, never mind, they rehired Mario07. Now they're just at a campsite and are having to survive Killer Kyle 1 year after the last Killer Kyle murder. That's really it? It ends with Killer Kyle dying, I guess, by Mario07. This thing is about 5 minutes long, and it's obviously a Friday the 13th inspired horror movie made by kids for kids. Hell, you could even get Killer Kyle as a skin for Jason, which is pretty cool. All the actors in Forsaken are spread around this video during the campsite segment. They all survive, I think. The only real ones who die here are side characters I don't really care for. They do find a dead body though, and I think that's really funny. I realize now that like this guy, Seth457, isn't in this Roblox video, and that's because he's actually in the sequel, Roblox Movie Mask Killer 2, the second part. And you know, I guess I'll watch that too.
Oh my god.
That movie is actually peak. The only returning character in the second video is Killer Kyle. The movie starts in a summer camp at night. They're all really tired, but don't go to sleep because they find a dead body. Well, I lied actually, because for some reason they do go to sleep after finding said body, and only wake up once they hear a weird, strange noise. Some hijinks happen, and eventually the campers meet Killer Kyle. Seth decides to assault him, therefore adding Seth457 to the kill count. And that's it. Seth appears after he dies, but that's clearly just an actor taking another role, as they don't have their cool birthday present hat there. So I'm not going to talk about this movie anymore, as I basically explained every campsite victim. I'll talk about it more when I redo my Jason Skins video. The last notable thing about the campsite victims is they have unique request lines in Forsaken. I actually like them a lot because their personality feels super in line with Roblox players at the time. Like, when they talk to Builderman, they talk to him like he's a Roblox celebrity who just entered their place. Okay, on to the next skin. I did not expect to talk about this one for so long. Token. Token is the mascot of Femtinol. Femtinol being a music artist who's known for creating digital hardcore music and stuff. I can't really play any of their stuff due to copyright, but it's not like this noob skin plays her music or anything, so we should be good. This token cat character is often seen in Femtinol's album covers, usually having them being stabbed or covered in blood. They don't really seem to mind it though. In Forsaken, where there would be blood, there is instead black ink. All of Token's items abilities have unique models, but they're not really unique, as for some reason they're taken from a scrapped noob skin, that being I has face lols. I don't really want to talk about that skin as it's scrapped and no longer in the game. Maybe it'll come back though, and if it does, then I'll explain the importance of these items. Besides from the expressive face, the second coolest thing about this skin is the request lines, that seem to all be lines from different Femtinol songs. I don't listen to Femtinol, but I know someone who, you know, maybe probably does. I don't know, their profile picture looks like someone who would listen to Femtinol. So I'm just gonna call her and ask what these are, and if they get it right, then I'm a genius. Okay, so I'm gonna give you these lines, and then you'll tell me where they're from. And I'm just gonna assume you know exactly where all these are from.
Okay.
This one, it's simple I get to be dumb. You get to exercise control. I'll post these ones because I don't know if I'm saying them right. If I don't say them melodically, then what's the point?
This is from Girl Hell 1999.
There are wires overhead, there are wires in your hands.
I think it could very well be a twist on a lyric. It could be just like an edited version of a lyric, because I know this has been mentioned before. I don't remember. There are wires overhead and there are wires in your hand. No, that is also Girl Hell 1999. What the fuck?
I'm in it because I can be. You can't tell what I'm not.
This is also from Girl Hell 1999. Pretty much all of these have been pulling from this one song.
Let me see if I can get another one. This one, no way this one's in Girl Hell. If you ever hear me breathing, then that breathing is a joke.
That's also Girl Hell 1999.
Are these all from... Okay, wait, we'll keep going.
I think these are all from Girl Hell 1999.
Okay, this one. I won't let it up until I get my way.
I think that... Oh, okay. No, that one is not from Girl Hell 1999. Yeah, that one's from Katamari.
Oh, okay, we actually got a different one. Okay, this one. This is the second to last one. Every day I take a minute of your time.
I believe that's also Girl Hell 1999. What the hell?
God damn. Okay, these are all from Girl Hell. Okay, well then here's the last one.
I think that one's supposed to be a reference to Team Fortress 2.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so those were actually all right. He said maybe the last one. And so, I am validated. Okay, on to the next skin. Outlawed. This skin originates from the Outlaw's Robloxia, a game by Saucified Tin released in 2024. The game follows you and whoever you're with taking down the Outlaws of Robloxia. It basically just has you take the role of a sheriff taking down criminals in a boss rush. The criminals vary from an evil builderman, Doomspire teamers, or cool kid. The game is pretty fun, albeit a little annoying at times when it comes to the pairing mechanic. I wish the game still got updates, but it's currently on hiatus due to the creator Saucify working on a new game, that being Die of Death. You may have heard of it before. In Outlaws of Robloxia, the two easiest bosses are Builderman and the Brick Duo, this Forsaken skin originating from the latter. In the Brick Duo fight, you face off against two criminals robbing a bank, that being a noob and a guest. The noob using a baseball bat and a skateboard to knock you around, and the guest showing off his Second Amendment right and just gunning you down. In Forsaken, you can play as the noob, of course. The Outlawed skin isn't really too crazy, but it does have custom request lines that reference Outlaws of Robloxia. When requesting a pizza from Elliot, Outlawed can say this: "Got any burgers? Oh, just pizza? Give me a pizza then." Which references how in the Brick Duo fight, Noob could eat a cheeseburger to heal mid-match. When requesting a dispenser from Builderman, Outlaw could say this: "You stole our money! A dispenser would be the bare minimum." Which is referencing how in the Outlaws of Robloxia, Builderman is evil and steals money from users. And finally, when Dusakar shields you after you request it from him, Outlawed could say, "Thanks, we're two after all." Which references what the noob says at the beginning of their fight. Noob Cosplay. This skin turns you into a noob. Or maybe it's the other way around, I don't really know. When you equip this skin, it gives the noob whatever accessories you have on at the time, turning them all blue. This doesn't work for custom body parts though. If you have the superhero body type or something, then you will revert to blockiness. The only exception being the Roblox girl torso. Also, if you have a t-shirt on, then that will also be visible. I haven't really seen that many cosplayers using this due to the limited colors, but you could still probably do something funny with it. Also, if you have an accessory that emits particles, then the particles will be there, which is a blessing and a curse as it essentially just makes the Ghost Burger ability way worse. The Your Face Here character in the render for the skin appears a lot in games by Shovelware Studios. Maybe one day we'll just get the Your Face Here guy as a skin someday. That'd be fun. Elf. Okay, moving on to the special skins, meaning you could only get these by doing a challenge or by getting them at a specific time. You could tell these skins are special by the rainbow borders they have. You probably know what elves are. They're Santa's helpers, and that's kind of it. There are two Santa skins in this game that are given to both John Doe and Shedletsky. So you can choose who Noob works for here, I guess. Easter. This skin turns the noob into the Easter Bunny. I think this is a different character due to the unique face, which is really funny to me. The idea of the Easter Bunny being a playable character in Forsaken. You could only get this skin near Easter for 500 points. I was gonna start explaining where the Easter Bunny originates from, but then I realized I don't want to do that. It's just a character in folklore that was created in the 1600s to coincide with the Easter holiday. While getting that small explanation on Wikipedia, this image was linked, and I don't know why this is funny to me. VIP. You could only get the skin by buying the VIP Game Pass for 800 Robux. The skin turns Noob into a king, kind of like the old Milestone fort, but better. It gives Noob a custom face and a VIP shirt. VIP shirts were basically Game Passes before Game Passes. Wanted to go through this VIP door? Well, buy the VIP shirt to get through. The one that Noob is wearing is from a game called Catalog Heaven, which was released in 2011. It allowed you to search through avatar items before buying them, kind of like Avatar Catalog, but like really old. The VIP shirt allowed you to save and load custom outfits and some other benefits in the game. There are 3 different shirts that work as tiers in that game: Normal, Elite, and Supreme. In Forsaken, when spawning into a match, VIP Noob will randomly pick between one of these shirts to wear. Artist. I don't have this skin. I actually couldn't find any gameplay of Artist, so I'll find whatever to put here, I guess. You could only get it by participating in the Forsaken poster contest. There's an artist skin for every survivor, I think, and if not, then there probably is going to be. It just gives the character an artist theme. I did try to get these skins once. I submitted my Combat Initiation Jason artwork, but they didn't really do anything with it. It just got flooded by other artwork, so I moved past it though. I'm totally fine. I'm fine. All the artist skins have renders that show the character's art skill, so we can now tell that the noob is indeed a noob at drawing. They're trying their best though. We all start somewhere. Okay, that's my noob video. That was way longer, and I don't really like the survivor skins as much when it comes to Forsaken. Not because they're bad, but it's just because when talking about them, there really isn't too much interesting things to point out, unlike killer skins where they have custom chase themes and stuff. But I still really appreciate them, and it's fun to research where these are from, especially with my campsite victim segment. I don't know if I'm going to make my next video on a survivor or a killer. I'll probably do survivor for my next upload, then do a killer video after that, mainly because all my killer videos are kind of actually almost done. So I'll probably upload one of those while I start the horrific process of covering Shedlevsky's skins. Okay, this is the segment where I thank people. First, I want to thank the Forsaken Wiki. I would not have been able to make this video without their information of these skins. It's crazy how much stuff I take from the Forsaken Wiki for granted. For example, all the little graphics you see for each character are from the Forsaken Wiki. So please go visit them, give them love. I really don't know how to support them, but donate to them if you can do that. And I want to thank Dexnox and Limino for the music. I like a lot of Limino's music. They primarily talk about conspiracy theories and stuff that kind of inspire my researching and stuff. And their music is really good for researching. And also Dexnox, he made some bangers for this, okay? Not for this, but he did make some bangers, and I did steal a lot of them. And also, I want to thank these people. They all helped me with gameplay and recording stuff for games. Starclone, Chair, Goopy Chip, Doxium, and Not a Wizard. All help me with whatever. Go to them, I guess. And also, Starclone and Dexnox, we have a gaming channel. I'll put a clip here so you can watch and see if you want to go there.
Slightly more health. Talk to that man. Look at that guy. Look at that evil Meister. He's staring at the camera. Why is he not looking at his food or his anyone else on the table? He's just looking at me.
Well, to be fair, we're looking at him.
Just close your eyes and leave.
Then I want to thank Ollie Steps Forward. They helped me with my token fentanyl bit. I don't really know much about token fentanyl, and they really came in with the alley-oop there to help me out with that segment. If that part seemed a little off, then
I had to re-record what I said because this motherfucker was chewing too loudly on his ice.
So yeah, I was actually eating ice so much. I was hungry, okay? To say that it was unlistenable would be an understatement. And then, if you made it through all the thank yous, thank you specifically. It means so much that you'd watch through this whole video and just be here and sit through it. A lot of people would kind of just go to this video or my last videos and just go to one segment for one skin that they enjoyed. And it means so much to me that you actually came here just to listen to me yap about skins. It means so much to me. And hey, if you made it this far, why not like and subscribe and turn off notification bells for every other YouTuber but mine? You know, that'd be pretty cool. And then I want to thank Forsaken. I really like the game. I like it more than Dead by Daylight. I actually played Dead by Daylight so much. I have like 5,000 hours on Dead by Daylight, and then I stopped playing it forever because Forsaken was just more fun. So, you know, thank you, Forsaken dev team. Thank you. I pray to you. And yeah, that's my video. Thank you for making it the whole way. Now I'll give you this pin. If you can show this off to people to show off your dedication to this channel, it means that you got to the end of the video. No one else has done that. This video is so long. Oh my god, how did you make it through? Okay, bye.